Hi guys, hope you're well. God, it feels ages since I've sat down and done a talkie to video type video. What? Did that make sense? A talk to camera type video. I feel like a lot of my YouTuber friends and me have had a tough few weeks or months, and it really is hard to put yourself in front of a camera when you're having a tough time and you feel like you can't keep everything together. So it's so nice to see that people are like kind of sympathetic to that, and they understand that sometimes people need to take some time away from YouTube. But anyway, I'm not going to get into what's been going on with me in this video because you know what I get like. But I did want to start off with just explaining something else that's happened. So if you follow me on Twitter and everything, or watch my declutter diaries, you will know that I was doing like a huge clear out to try and raise money for the holiday that I was going to go on. But also I wanted to buy a lens for my camera so I could get some really good content for my blog, Instagram, YouTube while I was on the holiday. Because Sai is actually going to be away for most of autumn and winter, so he's not going to be on hand, you know, to help me, you know, film things or take pictures. So I thought if I've got, you know, some stuff in storage, so to speak, that I can filter out over the next few months, that would be a good idea. Unfortunately, on the first day of Reading, my camera was stolen alongside my most expensive lens, and also the SD card was in it from my holiday. Yeah, not good. So I have some photos and videos, obviously you've seen them because I'd already downloaded them, but the large majority are gone now. So my point is that I don't have the camera that I need to use for my, you know, my lookbooks and my more arty type videos, or to take the nice pictures, and I don't have the money to replace it or whatever. So I really need to secure some sponsored videos, but I'm not going to get those unless my views start getting a bit higher. They're still very low comparatively. So I just want to basically beg you guys to do... Oh, I just found a bit of Chinese just dropped from the top of my tooth. Noodle. I just want to beg you guys to basically, if you see a video of mine, even if you don't want to watch it, if you can't be asked, if it's not your thing, for whatever reason, just click it for me, because just that having that extra view will help me just secure maybe some work that will at least get me the equipment that I had in the first place, which would be great. Anyway, enough of that. Sorry to start with a beg, how pathetic. Let's get in on the questions. So, this was so long ago, I don't remember what was asked. Okay. What's your Snapchat? I think I've added the wrong Sophie Eggleton. Right, I'm glad you asked that actually. Hopefully some of you will join, although I am doing Insta stories a bit more at the moment. But it is Soph Eggleton, so it's not Sophie, it's S-O-P-H Eggleton, one word, on Snapchat. Okay, Nadine McQueen, where do you see yourself in 10 years time? 10 years time, oh God, that's a horrible thought. Well, hopefully by then I'll be settled. I'd like to have a home. I'd like to have a doggy. I guess in theory I'd like to have a kid, but that seems to be something that's potentially not going to happen for me. I just want to feel a bit more settled and contented, and I'd like to say I'd like the majority of my days to be happier rather than the majority of them being sad. It would be nice if I have travelled some more, but basically I just want to be surrounded by lovely people, positive influences, and to perhaps have done something positive that I can be proud of by then. Maybe, I don't know what, I'd just like to be able to look back on my career at that point and think, that was good. That was a really good thing that I did there. That would be nice, really. Top fashion essentials for fall and autumn. Oh, goodness me. Oh, shh. I'd say military is in every autumn winter, so whether that you go for the military colours like navy or khaki or red or black, or whether you go for the tailoring of military, like you can't go wrong with a military coat for autumn winter. Statement jumpers, a thing. Obviously these Kenzo jumpers are really popular at the moment. They have like these tigers that have embroidery. I'd say embroidered things are still very hot at the moment. You see these embroidered jeans, but embroidered jumpers, coats, all sorts. What else? You know, experiment with different jean styles as well, because obviously it's acceptable. Well, it should always be acceptable. Whatever you want to wear is acceptable. But you know, we're seeing more of the flare jeans again, so it's not just the skinny jeans. I don't know, as I get older, I'm less inclined to stick to what's, you know, on trend. I just, you know, if I like something, I like something, and you guys should be the same. If you like it, if it makes you feel something, go for it. Favourite place you've ever visited? Because that's hard, because if I was going to say place I'd like to live, probably New York, but most beautiful, probably Thailand was probably one of the most beautiful, but then Greece, you can't go wrong with Greece, and then Lake Garda in Italy is also beautiful. Okay, Helen C. Which female celebrities do you like for their fashion sense? Do you have a favourite male celebrity? Female fashion sense. I think Diane Kruger always looks wonderful. She is quite high-end a lot of the time, so I wouldn't be able to afford a lot of the stuff she has worn. Like, she always looks amazing when she wears Chanel. But she actually looks good when she's dressed down. When you just see her papped in like the streets of New York and stuff, she always looks good. I think Nicole Richie sometimes pulls it out of the bag and looks amazing. Kate Blanchett, I think her red carpet looks always incredible. But for a bit more quirky, I think Rooney Mara, like, I'm always excited to see what she's going to wear on the red carpet, because she's got that edge. She sometimes goes quite gothic, she goes quite ethereal, and because she's got that really dark hair with the pale skin, it always looks quite kind of fantasy, magical sort of stuff. Yeah, that's just off the top of my head. I'm probably going to get annoyed that I've forgotten someone really good a bit later, but that'll do for now. So Carmel, I have a couple of questions. How are you? Like, literally, how do you feel right now? Oh, it's funny, the other day someone asked me that, and I was like, do you want the honest answer, or should I just be like, or do you just want me to go, yeah, I'm alright, how are you? And I think a lot of us just do the second option just because it's easy, and also because we know if we go into it, we'll probably, you know, lose the plot a little bit and just go off on one, and you know, the tears will flow. But right now, I'm not particularly in a good place at the moment. It's been a tough old week, month, year, life. Yeah, I'm feeling unsettled. I'm feeling a little bit lost at the moment, and also I have some life decisions I need to make, and I don't really know what to do. So not the best right now, but at the same time, a lot of really sad stuff's happened in the last month, which does put things into perspective. Like, you realise how lucky you are just to be here and that you're around. But it also makes you question how you do live your life, and you think to yourself, should I be in a situation or put myself through things that don't make me happy? Because life is short, and you should try and ensure that as much of it as possible is happy and positive. So yeah, it's weird how you reflect when bad things happen. So yeah, see what I mean? I've already gone off on one. Do you see a change in your behaviour and attitude since you started vlogging? I feel like in general, I think I've always been quite an open person. I've always been happy to share and be honest with people, but I do feel like I've become even more open, because I think when I've vlogged and I have been open, I've seen that, you know, nothing bad happens from being open and honest about things. In fact, it's generally a positive thing. So it's made me go in that direction even more. Like I'm not scared of being vulnerable or being open about things, particularly if it helps other people. So I guess I just say that side of me has been amplified even more. But on the other side of the coin, I feel like in some ways I feel more self-conscious. Sorry, Chinese, but why do I have Chinese before I film these videos? Whew. I feel like I am more self-conscious. Like you saw me at Summer in the City, but I don't like going to gigs and festivals. I don't know, I feel like I've put myself out there a bit more to be judged. Not necessarily by you guys, but the people that know I do YouTube but don't necessarily watch the videos or know the content. I feel like you immediately get a bit more judged. I'm not wording this correct. I'd say my anxiety has gotten a bit worse actually since I've started being a YouTuber. I think with every day that passes, I'm seeing things in a slightly different way, because I think the events of that day always have an impact on how you feel the next day. And as I said, because a lot of crazy stuff has happened recently, every day as I kind of reflect on these things and gather my thought processes and stuff, I am feeling differently. I'll be honest with you guys, I did have more than a few moments last week where I did think that YouTube, I wasn't going to do it anymore, because it is getting to the point where it's not happening for me, and I don't know whether it's worth me putting in this much emotional energy, and also just the time it takes to make the videos I make. I know you just see them go up and they only last a few minutes, and it doesn't look like it takes long, probably because they're not that slick and glamorous or polished, but it takes a lot of time, not only to film but edit and, you know, deal with technical difficulties, and I just don't know whether the reward is great enough, but that's a whole nother thing. Leven 29, I'm so sorry if I didn't say that right. Hello, I have two questions. Have you ever visited Bruges in Belgium? If not, will you pay to visit in the future? And two, guys with glasses, hot or not? Not sure. One, I believe I've been to Bruges. By the way, I love In Bruges, the film. If you haven't seen it, one of my faves. I think I went there on an orchestra tour once. I was a band geek. I played the flute, and we went on a tour where we played things like shopping centres and theme parks and old people's homes, and we sang and we played our instruments and stuff like that. So I think so. And guys with glasses, hot, not sure. I think guys with glasses are hot, but I think it obviously, with any trend or any accessory, it's dependent on whether you get glasses that suit you and whether they're good glasses and that sort of thing. But if they're glasses that suit you, then hell yeah, glasses are hot. Mrs. Memster, my questions: what testing have you done to try and find the cause of your CFS, blood tests, etc., and were any abnormal? Also, what remedies have you tried to lessen the fatigue? Any of them successful? The reason I ask is because I feel I've had so many tests which all come back normal, yet the amount of fatigue I have with CFS is definitely abnormal. So what tests have I had? I've had the hormonal checks, because I kept having a lot of profuse sweating and hot flushes, so they checked that. I've had lots of like food allergy testing. I've had celiac and Crohn's. I've had the cameras going up the bum and the cameras going down the throat. I've had a couple of those. I've had the test that kind of tells you whether you've got cancer cells in your body. I think it's because if you've got protein in the blood, something like that. I've had an AIDS test, because actually a lot of people say that the symptoms of chronic fatigue are quite similar to a lot of the symptoms that AIDS patients get, and obviously it's good for peace of mind as well. If you've had sex, then condoms aren't 100% safe, or if you've had unsafe sex, it's just good to know. Then I went to an alternative medicine place, and they did tests related to gut health and things like candida overgrowth test, which I did have, but then when I went to the doctor they said it wasn't a thing, so who knows about that. What else? Just a general blood, I quite often have just the general check everything blood tests, and quite often it's the vitamin D, which is a little bit low, but on the whole they always come back normal. And that's the thing with this, I think you have to do very specific tests, which most doctors don't do. You have to find specialists in other parts of the world who will do those tests. So I think a lot of people that end up being diagnosed or think that they have chronic fatigue syndrome, it is because you've kind of tested for everything and it's not anything else that has similar symptoms, so you just kind of go, well, that's probably what it is then. So could you vlog a day in the life? Just curious other CFSs survived the day. Thank God and God bless. God bless to you too. I hope you're doing okay at the moment. I know it's not easy, but there's a few of us out there at least to support each other. Oh, Hannah Olsen, how's your CFS at the moment? Also, do you know anyone in real life with CFS? My CFS is, on the whole, comparatively okay. It's always hard to say how it is, because do you judge it compared to how it gets for you, or in the whole spectrum of CFS? I'd say my hips have been a bit poor lately, and my legs and joints have been quite sore. My back is a bit of a problem at the moment as well. I've had a few issues where my mind's not quite been where it needs to be, and I found, like I had another presenting job the other day, and to learn a script, have to get up for a train at like 6 in the morning and then deliver the script at 9 AM under pressure was not easy. Probably not easy for anyone, but when you've got brain fog, that was a very stressful thing to do. I'd say not too bad, but I'm not sleeping at the moment at all, and I never know whether that's connected to depression and whether the depression is a result of the CFS or vice versa, but I'm not sleeping. And do I know anyone in real life? Well, funny you should say that. At Reading, a singer from one of the bands that performed at Reading, I was introduced to his mum because she suffers or has suffered with it for 17 years. She's actually well now, and they thought it would do me good to talk to her, and had a long chat with her on one of the benches in the guest area, and it turned out someone else on the table, he used to have it and he had got better from it. So that was really, I don't know, that was quite a powerful hour in my Reading Festival weekend, because not only did I meet people who had gotten over it and overcome it, just speaking to people that understand and don't judge you and know exactly what you're going through. It's a very rare thing, particularly in real life, to have. And yeah, I just felt this sense of like relief, just voicing what I was going through to people that truly understood it. I ended up crying, but it wasn't like sad tears, it was just the, I don't know, just the act of talking to people that, got it. This one out. Catherine Cogman, if you had to live in another country outside the UK Ireland, where would you pick? Well, I guess America, because you don't have to learn a new language, and the weather is nice in a lot of the places I would pick to live. A lot of friends live out there. They have so many different landscapes in one country. I think that's quite special. Like, you can go skiing in America, but you can go to the beach in America, you can go in the desert, you can go in lush green environments, like they've got everything. But with the climate of politics at the moment, I'm feeling a bit less inclined to do that. I would like to do a short period of time somewhere like Greece or Italy too. knows? Tess Murray, do you ever want children? If so, what names do you like? When I grew up, I almost thought, yeah, that's an inevitability. Is that the word? That's, yeah, it's on the cards, it's going to happen, it's what I want. I not only am not sure whether it's what I want, just because I'm not sure I'd be able to cope with it, if I'm honest with you. But I feel like that dream is, or not that dream because it wasn't a dream, but that kind of goal is getting further away, just because there seems to be a lot going against that happening. But you just never know. You never know how things are going to pan out. So I'm just going to go with the flow and try not to fret about it too much. But it is, sometimes it's hard because out of my close group of friends that went to school together, I think it's only me and one other. Is it me and one other? Well, maybe more actually. No, there's a few of us. But the majority now have kids, settled down with husbands, have their houses, that sort of thing. So that kind of makes me feel even more like I'm, you know, lagging behind and stuff. Anyway, girls' names, I like boys' names for girls, if you know what I mean. Like I like Andy and George. I don't know, I've not thought about it in so long. Boys' names. Charlie, I always think like, you're always gonna like a Charlie. Charlie sounds so like happy and approachable as a name. But then I like the more obscure names, like, you know, like the Devons, and the Harleys and stuff. I don't know.